machine as well, so if you don't get those out, you'll get uneven results throughout the whole thing. So once I have a nice good stir, I'm not shaking, trying to avoid air bubbles. So we've got a little less than 4 ounces, and then we can go up to 8, and back to white.
This is a tack cloth. It's very sticky. And it'll wipe everything off on the counter. So I want to clear everything out. Pull it taut and set it down against, and then I can come back and get that nice crisp edge, and I'll even take it really. The other thing I can do is I can take a putty knife. This is actually for mixing Bondo, but it'll work the same way, and I can just kind of come in and really make sure that what I'm concerned about is the bottom edge. It's nice and flush, so I don't get anything leaking up in. All right, so let's talk a little bit about why I did it the way that I did it. So if you take a look at your tabletop, it is not perfectly flat. So inside the wood has grain and it'll have these little dips and stuff like that. And so what we're doing is when we put our polyurethane on, ideally we want it to cover and seal the whole thing, and then we don't have to worry about anything on top. The problem is when I try and do it either in just one big coat, let's just draw this a little bit bigger, right? If I'm looking at this big table, obviously it's not that deep, but when I go to put my polyurethane on, it builds up, and when it gets to here, it starts to do stuff like this. And so now it'll come down and come back up. And so I still get these big grooves. What you might think is, well, just pour a whole bunch more on top. Yeah, you could do that. The problem with using just polyurethane like that is it doesn't dry very quickly, and it also can start cracking in certain areas, because if I try and really build this up in my first go, I now have like voids and stuff like that where it didn't go in. So what I like to do is thin it out with the paint thinner, and what I'm doing is I'm building these really thin coats, and that's going to soak and drop in down here, and slowly build this up one coat at a time. Well, you can see that this is going to just keep getting bigger on these flat parts, but really I still haven't passed the indentation. Well, that's why we sand in between, right? So if after every coat I sand down, not necessarily all the way down, but a little bit, and now I have a slightly more filled area, I'm not building as much on top, so this will be thinner. It'll be thicker down here, so now I'm building more up down here, but I'm maintaining this distance between my top coat. I'm not necessarily sanding all the way down so that I'm flush with the first coat every time. I don't want to do that. I do want to build a little bit up. The other thing that sanding does is if I get little specks or peaks or anything like that, I get rid of those when I sand it. So I'm just knocking that kind of stuff off. So I want to slowly build this up so that this is fully even across the top and smooth, so that I can write on it and other things. If we're not super concerned about all of that, we could just do a few spray coats and not worry about it. I wouldn't necessarily need to sand in between, but we do want to build this up. So once I'm done, I should have a nice, smooth, even coat. It still might dip a little bit here, and that might be unavoidable. If I really wanted to, I could fill those areas in first and just go around and try and brush everything in there and really sand everything off. But again, this is just a workbench, so I'm not super concerned about it.